Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to HP to XP. I'm Steph, and I'm going to be our GM for our Mouse Guard one-shot tonight. Before we begin our story, I have a few announcements for everyone. First, remember that next week will be our last one-shot for May. Matt will take us to Wildmount for a D&D campaign. That will be May 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Secondly, our new campaign, The Crypt of the Ruby Dragon, will kick off on June 9th with a start time of 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. So be sure to join our cast as we launch our new adventure. And we will be taking a brief break May 31st through June 9th as we enjoy some time off and with family and prep for the new campaign. So there's a lot to be done. And with that's all of our announcements. So I'm going to intro Mouse Guard for everyone in the sense that this is my first time running a Mouse Guard one-shot or running a Mouse Guard game at all. And to that end, I've made some modifications to the rules, not drastically but slightly. So if you're a huge fan and you see that they're slightly off, know that that's why. And I'll be joining with the rest of the cast, who is all playing Mouse Guard for the first time ever. So wanted to make sure I shared all of that before we get in and get started. And I have quick as we go through the game too, I will also explain anything that's like relevant in how things works, because a lot of these things I'm explaining to the cast for the first time as well. So you'll be learning along with all the rest of us. Here we go. I don't know, has everyone been brought in yet? Yeah, awesome. I was not aware. Oh, great. Everyone's here. Let's get started. All right. We begin our one-shot adventure in the thick woods near Darkwater. Far enough, but not too far from Lockhaven, the stronghold of the Mouse Guard. The old tall trees creak and groan as the cool wind passes through, pulling free many delicate yellow, dying red and orange leaves. A steady-paced, soft crunch sound accompanies the wind and the trees as a large old tortoise plods along a thinly worn trail, being led by a thin and scraggly weasel with sharp eyes. As we zoom in on the pair, it's apparent that there is a howdah, or a fenced basket of sorts, atop the tortoise's back. Another weasel sitting atop, this one chubbier and older with more gray fur. He sits on a wooden chest, chewing a long strand of dead grass as he looks down towards 5 mice, lying unconscious with their paws tied. Go ahead and introduce your characters. I'll start with Mirage for Hornet, and you can popcorn to somebody else.
All right, sounds good. I am playing a little white mouse named Hornet. She has pointy ears, white fur, a red cloak, and a little needle that she uses as a sword on her back. Let's go to Sarah.
Hello, it's me. I'm playing Sloane. She is small, fuzzy, and sneaky. She actually carries a sword and a shield. Her shield is a button, and her sword is a safety pin that is usually shut for safety purposes because she's not actually a real guard mouse yet. So she's doing her best, and she's very fluffy. That's all. Thank you very much. I'll go to Jake. What is it, Lieam?
Yeah, Lieam. So I'm playing a young guard mouse named Lieam, who has auburn hair and has a broadsword as his weapon of choice, and a little nick in his ear from the war that he fought in. Going to Sadie.
Well, Sadie is a patrol guard from Fort Sume. She has a very nice brown fur, a lovely cloak. She carries a sling and stone and is quite clever. Matthew, right?
Yes. I today am Kenzie. Kenzie is a gray-furred, blue-cloaked mouse who serves as the patrol leader. Experienced, calm, also happy to be traveling with Hornet, who is his best friend. And
Besties, oh my god.
exactly, we're like BFFs. So excited about that, but in a very kind of low-key manner to make sure that some of these youngins don't get overexcited with whatever this adventure brings.
Awesome. So you all feel, a soft like bumping and rocking as your eyes start to flutter open, and you're regaining consciousness, realizing you are, tied up on the back of this large tortoise with this particular chubby weasel looking down at you. It doesn't take long before you realize that your belongings have been taken from you and are not on you. And the weasel intel that you were seeking out, you did obtain. Where would you have hidden it?
Great question. I don't think Hornet would have it. Hornet is too rush in and do stupid things to have something important on her.
Sadie's fairly clever and has been trusted with independent missions in the past, so she very likely would have figured out a way to hide it away.
All right, in the cloak, or
I
probably
think
in like her
probably
equipment?
tucked into equipment in some way,
Okay.
so that it was close to her fur.
Yeah. Then Sadie, as you awaken from unconsciousness, you realize, cloak equipment gone, little mouse paws tied, but you do have the intel, or you were successful in obtaining it, and getting it back to Gwendolyn is your mission. So all of the mice in the party, as part of the patrol, their goal is to get that weasel intel back. The mice and the weasels aren't the best of friends. So I'll just, you awake and find yourselves, you somehow failed, and you've wound up on the back of this tortoise.
Well, as soon as Hornet wakes up and realizes the situation that she is in, she is going to start kicking around and trying to get out of the binds, and she's going to start spitting up at whatever weasel she can see from her position and just be like, "You cowards, let me out of this, let us out, fight me like a real mouse." You just keep going like that basically the entire time.
Yeah, fight us like real mice.
Well, unless this tortoise is just your way of escorting us to help us save and keep our energy up.
The chubby weasel takes the piece of dry grass out of his mouth, and he goes, "We whooped you real good back there, and now we're taking you back to the headquarters. You ain't got nothing left to do. You're never going back to Lockhaven again."
I mean, as interesting as that is, Mr. Weasel, sir, I would just like to say that, I would very much like my safety pin back. It belonged to my great mouse. Her neighbor actually gave it to me, and she'd be very upset if I didn't get it back.
You hear from the weasel who's escorting the tortoise on the road, sort of a raspy voice. "What are they doing awake? You make them shut up back there. We got business to do."
We get our asses kicked by a couple of old weasels.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Yeah.
Are you
I
sure?
think they got the drop on us.
Are you sure it's really in your best interest to take us to your headquarters? That might not be something you want to do.
We'll fuck them up real good.
Don't tip them off, Kenzie. This is what we want. We're trying to get into their lair.
We are?
All right. Feels like y'all are going the social route on this one with a deceit. Is that a safe assumption for me to make? Or
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I think that's
All
what we
right.
think right now.
All right, so I just wanted to
Deceit.
double check. The chubby weasel looks down and is like, "That's your goal? To get in? For what reason?"
That couldn't possibly be our goal. You misheard me. Why on earth would we want to get into your lair where we could get all of the information and manage to beat you? That's just silly. Of course we're not trying to do that.
Horace, are you hearing them? They're saying that that's their goal. I don't know, Horace. Maybe we should let them go. And you hear Horace, "Don't be ridiculous. I need this promotion." Over by the tortoise.
Listen to
And
Horace.
Hornet's
He's
ears
right.
are grinding. You can see it physically turning as she is trying to understand that this is in fact a farce.
Wow.
Awesome.
It seems that when you take us back, you might actually get demoted. They might turn you into the tortoise and make you carry us around everywhere.
Tortoise.
Right?
With that, kind of taking like the
Yeah.
tie it together and just kind of pat the tortoise on the back.
You hear a like a that's nice.
Some of us treat tortoises better than others.
So when we go into a conflict, in this case a social conflict, we're going to roll to see the disposition, or kind of like the life total of like the party versus the weasels. And so in this situation, with a more of a negotiation, this is we're gonna need someone in the party to lead the role with a haggler. So you're gonna roll your haggler skill, or
Persuader.
I guess persuader could also work. So one person is gonna roll either haggler or persuader, and then add that to their will. So this is one person who's making this roll, and two others can help. And by helping, you just roll 1d6, and if you roll a 4, 5, or 6, you add that success to the person who's leading this roll. So
you roll your will die and your persuader die.
No, you just roll persuader, and then you add it to the number that is your will.
Okay. And what's the goal to try to get? Or I guess that depends on what they roll as well.
Yeah, you want to go
Okay.
high. They're going to have a starting disposition, and you're going to have a starting disposition. And then as we go through the phases, whoever has the lowest at the end is the loser.
All right. I have a 5 persuader.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
That'll do.
Yep.
Kenzie always knows how to talk to people and other
That's-
mice.
I get. Do I get a bonus for just persuading everybody?
I wish.
I think
but
they all
no.
have personhood. It's okay.
And so then Kenzie making this roll, if two other people in the party, I'm just going to say Hornet and Sloane, if you want to roll an additional d6 on a 4, 5, or 6, we add that to Kenzie's total.
All right. So I roll 5 dice, and if they're 4, 5, or 6, that counts as success.
That's a success.
Okay.
Yes.
6 and 4. 6 and 2. And a 6. So 4 out of 5.
Awesome. And then you add that to your will.
That's 9.
Okay. And
And
then
then
2 helpers.
I rolled a 3.
Ah, okay.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
All right.
So that's a 10.
10.
And then I roll for the weasels. The weasels, unfortunately, are going to have a starting disposition of a lot less. They did not roll as well. And so the weasels are going to be starting at a 6. So for the in purposes of narrative, we'll say these weasels are getting real tired already of hearing you yabber on and on.
I'd hate to see you get demoted just because you made a mistake.
So in this situation, now we go into combat. For this, I explained briefly before we started, but I'll explain for everybody who's listening today. There are different action or combat cards that you can choose to take. There's maneuver, attack, defend, and feint. So the party is going to choose 3, and in what order, and then I'm going to choose 3 for the weasels, and then we're going to roll different skills. So be looking at your character sheet to see, if you might be able to use a skill here. And I will take my headset off, and you can wave to me when you're ready. You may discuss without me.
Okay.
All right.
Boy, oh boy.
Okay, so we have to pick 3 cards.
Between maneuver, feint, defend, and attack. So it sounds like you guys were starting off with feinting.
I haven't passed out
socially.
yet.
I think that's how we started, technically.
I think so too.
What with the dodging questions and the, oh no, that's totally not what we meant. So I vote feint first, defend, and then, well, I don't know. I'm not the smart one here.
I like feint, maneuver, attack. Because I think
That sounds good.
I think that
I think so
maneuver
as
and
well.
attack always do well when paired together.
Mm-hmm.
All
And
right.
it has
I
nothing
like
to do
the
with the
attack
book on
part.
Blitzkrieg that I'm currently reading, but
Okay.
in general.
Feint, maneuver, attack.
Feint, maneuver, attack sounds good.
Okay,
All right.
Steph, we have
Yes.
our 3 cards selected. Do
Awesome.
we have to choose individuals as well, or does that not matter?
I don't think we have to.
Okay, okay, cool.
I will, at the GM, I will share first. My first card is defend. So I don't know what you chose.
Our first card is feint.
Feint. Awesome. In that case, in that situation, defend doesn't help because it's not actually attack. It's the weasels don't get a benefit here, but y'all with feint do get to roll. Let me double check here. It is persuader or manipulator, or so someone in the party wants to roll persuader or manipulator.
I think we
And
all
then you can-
know who wants to roll persuader.
All right, so persuader, that's a 6 and a 4 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2. So 3.
Okay. With a success of 3, you have successfully tricked them, and so you basically get to apply a certain bonus, and you have 3 points towards that bonus. So you can use that to. I have it right here. You can use it to change the margin of the success for the next card. So you can gain 2 dice for the next card. You can use 1 point to give the weasels a minus dice for the next round. And if you want to spend 3 points, you can choose disarm to remove one of your opponent's weapons. So you have 3 points to spend essentially, so you can remove a weasel's weapon, or you can do give yourself 2 dice in the next card, or and also give the weasels a minus dice.
What do y'all think? Should we give them a minus? An automatic miss?
Yeah, I think that sounds really smart there, Kenzie.
Well, I think it was a good feint. So, so I think we'll take the -1 for the bonus.
Okay. And then you'll also get the +2 for your next roll. So
+2 as well. Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
So the weasels were like, I don't know, maybe they're not going to actually hurt us at all, Jasper. And the other one says, Horace, don't be like that. Of course they are. And your actions are working. They're starting to believe you subconsciously that you actually intend to get in there. And they're feeling pretty uneasy about it.
Weasels are easily manipulated.
Hornet always said I had a gift for the gab.
Your second card is
Maneuver.
maneuver. Okay, they also chose maneuver. And so for a maneuver versus a maneuver, they're individual rolls, which means that y'all are going to roll persuader or manipulator again. Yeah. But it has to be a different person.
Oh, okay.
So,
no.
sorry. There was bound to be information that I was going to forget to tell you. So, in each combat situation, when we're rolling our traits, we can't repeat people. So we need to swap different folks. So
I start to talk, but I bite my mouse tongue.
Yeah.
Somebody else is gonna have to type this one.
I got
I
a
just
2
have a-
for persuasion.
I've
Yeah,
got
I-
a 2 for manipulator.
I have a 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're it.
whoever's
Tag.
rolling gets extra 2 dice.
I will
But
So how many?
help.
Who's
How
roll-
many is it total then? Plus the 2.
5.
5 plus 2, so 7.
No, it's 3. Your score plus the 2 bonus dice, so a total of 5.
Oh, okay. I knew that. I promise. There we go.
And can we help on these, or is this just a straight up individual?
No.
Okay.
It's just them.
So I have 4 successes out of 5 with a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 5. And the other one was a 3.
You have 4 successes.
Yes.
Okay. I need to
Nice.
roll for the weasels.
Weasels are bad rollers. They'll fail.
And we took away 1.
That's
Mm.
true. The weasels rolled, I believe, just 2 successes, which is not great for them. So for maneuver, this is going to allow you to like boost your HP or your disposition. However, everybody is like at max because we didn't bring it down yet with any type of attacks. So I don't think it would go higher if you had lost disposition. However, it doesn't in this case. So, and now we look at the third card, which for the weasels is attack.
It's
We
also
picked
a
the same one.
tag.
Yeah.
Attack versus attack. Okay.
Yeah.
In that
Right on.
in that situation too, we both roll individually, and those numbers come off of the disposition. So in this situation, the players are at 10, the weasels are at 6. You're going to want to lose. You're going to want to bring the weasels down as much as possible, because if they bring you down also, we're not going to see exactly where that's going to land. So if you want to win overall, currently you're winning overall.
Okay. And what's the skill used for this one?
For it is either Persuader or Haggler.
Oh, dang it. I've got fighter 6, and I was just like, yes, finally, my time to shine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it's Persuader Haggler for all 3 of these.
You went with a social approach.
Yeah.
So.
Got it.
I got a 2 for persuader.
Same.
Take it, Jake.
I'm feeling hot.
All right, kid. Show us what you got.
I'm gonna show you
Come
what
on,
I
Liam.
got.
You can
Um,
do it, Liam.
So, what's the? It's Persuader plus Will.
It's just Persuader, and then if you have like one of your traits, Liam, like if you want to use a trait in a roll, you can. You can also roll after, so you can roll for Persuader and then see what your successes are, and then choose to utilize a trait. Because when you utilize a trait, you can only utilize it once per session.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have 1 in determined, so I'll roll my 2. I rolled a 4 and a 6. I got 2 successes. And I'll use determined to check the third one. Also a 6, so I have 3 successes.
Awesome.
Good job, kid.
I tried to do you proud.
What do you say, Liam?
Oh, you're gonna be really sorry.
Get him, Liam.
He's still working on it a little bit.
Okay. The weasels
That's your war
rolled...
face. You don't convince me. Work on it.
A guard mouse never gives up.
And you don't. Somehow your pitiful excuse of a comment works, and you've hurt the weasel's disposition by 3. It was 3, right?
Yeah.
The weasels don't have much to say in response. I feel like Jasper or Horace is speaking over Jasper at this point. We just gotta let them go, or else it's gonna be real bad, Jasper. They rolled a 2, bringing their disposition down to 8, or bringing your disposition down to 8. However, theirs is at 3. So at the end of the combat, y'all have an 8 disposition and they have a 3, which means that y'all succeed. And like, if it doesn't really affect as much because you're the party and you get to win. But if you had lost, then maybe perhaps there would have been some conditions or hardships. And so Horace is like, "What? I'm just gonna let them go." And he leans down and takes the twisty ties and starts taking them off of your little paws. And Jasper is arguing with him, but, is a little bit weaker on that. "I don't think this is a good idea. The boss won't be happy."
Do we see our
We're not going to be
equipment?
happy.
Looking around, you see a chest where Horace was sitting at the atop the tortoise, and you kind of see a bit of fabric sticking out. You guess that your equipment's probably in there.
Okay. And he is currently not sitting on the chest anymore, correct?
No, he's currently like untwisty tying everybody.
Beautiful. I think as soon as Hornet is free, she is going to dart over to the chest and try and knock it off the turtle, right? It's on the turtle?
Tortoise.
Yep,
Yeah.
big old tortoise.
Knock it off the tortoise so that we can all break it open like a piñata and then pull the fuck out of there.
Yeah, and as you do so, it hits the ground and like already snaps open. It was pretty cheaply made. Horace and Jasper are now having a very fierce like back and forth. Now that one of you is free, you can release the other ones, as they are still not 100% certain they should let you go, because it wasn't a terribly convincing argument, but they're at least scared enough to have an argument over it. So
let's slide down this tortoise before they realize we're even gone, and the tortoise will keep on walking. Won't you, big fella?
Oh, but I have so many stories to tell you.
Next time, buddy. It's been fun. All right, let's go. And she's gonna just start pushing people off.
As Sadie begins to slide off the tortoise, she's going to look at the tortoise and say, "Do they take care of you there? Have you considered organizing some sort of collective action to protect tortoise rights? We'll talk about it later." And continue on down.
The tortoise doesn't really notice that she's gone and just continues talking anyway with its eyes barely open. "Mighty kind of you to ask."
God, amazing. I love this running theme of inspiring people to start.
We're gonna.
I was wondering how I was gonna work it in tonight, but
We're gonna have to have a
Wow.
cat. We're gonna have to have a cat union on HP to XP.
Amazing.
All right, mice, I know which way to go. And then Liam is gonna run into the tall grass, I suppose.
Yeah.
Wow, such confidence.
Kenzie grabs his walking toothpick and as his staff and tries to gather everybody in a hiding spot.
Once
And
Hornet's got her shit on her, she's gonna hop over to Kenzie's side and straighten back up as if nothing had happened, and just kind of, "You all right, big fella?"
I'm good. Sadie, you still got what we came for?
I checked my stuff and do. So I do. I think we need to hurry up and get it back. This is important information. We can't
Yep,
delay.
Well, then, let's get.
Okay then, Liam, show us where to go.
Okay, it's this way.
Can
Sadie's gonna look at Kenzie.
review the information? Can Kenzie review the intel real quick?
Yeah. If Sadie is sharing the intel with you, Kenzie, then you can see that
There you are,
this
boss.
paper that you've picked up from a dead drop includes all types of information about the Weasel base, certain tunnels where they store things, and upon capture, you realize that Horse and Jasper, they didn't realize that you had the intel. They were just gonna take you back as prisoners. So at least that's what you're pretty sure. So
All
Typical
right.
boo mousers.
Kinsey hands the docs back to Sadie. Says, "Good job hiding these."
Are we sure Liam knows how to get back?
We'll get there.
Okay.
DM question, Scout 5 and it's underlined. I don't know if that means anything, but
yeah.
can I use that skill to navigate us back? Okay.
Yeah. Roll scout and let me know how many successes you have.
Okie dokie. Oh. 3.
Can anyone help?
Okay.
Probably not after the fact.
Yes,
Or
if
yeah?
you have,
Okay.
you can offer an additional dice to Liam if you have a skill or a trait that is relevant to the situation.
I
Yes.
have a survivalist 4.
Then yeah. So Liam, if you want to roll an additional dice, you can.
Okie doke. 4. Got it. So
Cool.
4 total.
Yeah, 4 is a really good score. With a 4, Liam, even though you're a really young mouse and you're like new to the guard, Kenzie is like taught you a lot and you've picked up on a lot. And you know from based on where you are at this point, there's the path to Mouseguard, Lockhaven. That's what the name of the game is. The path to Lockhaven is ahead of you, and you're realizing based on how far the weasels have taken you, that you're going to reach in a few moments. You're going to be reaching an area where you're going to have to choose a route, and you know that this area has a large field to cross as an option. Some folks in the area refer to it as the Field of Feasts because it grows a lot of wheat. So either it's very beneficial for wheat eaters or those who eat wheat eaters. And there's another option in that direction, which is the Badger Burrow. So you would know this and have heard of these places, so you can, share that with the party.
Okay, mice, here's what I got. So we have a field where we're probably going to get picked up by a lot of birds and pecked to death potentially, or we could just go say hello to the badgers on the way.
Are you sure you're not skewing this information so we choose one option over the other there, Liam?
No, not at all. I'm not biased.
Well, how is it equidistant no matter which way we go?
Yeah. Oh, it is. Sorry. I thought you were asking me. Continue, Liam.
It depends if we get carried off by a bird or not, because then we'll have to walk further after we get dropped in its nest, and then we survive getting eaten by bird children.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing is either go through and sacrifice Liam to the bird gods, or go and say hi to the badgers.
No. We are not sacrificing this little thing here.
I'm kidding. I would never do that to Liam.
First of all, I'm a full mouse guard. I'm important, and just like every mouse is important, and we shouldn't be sacrificing anybody to the birds.
I'm just trying to tell Liam it's fine.
I think it might be easier if one of us or all of us do get caught to get back from a badger nest than a bird nest. So I am going to vote badger.
Okay, sure. That sounds good. Liam, what do you vote?
Badgers?
I could have called that yesterday. Okay, I guess unless Kenzie or Sadie, it's already 3-2. Do you guys want to do the scary field with the birds, or do you want to go to the badgers?
Well, I was thinking the field would have.
I feel like badgers are sort of like weasels, and but if apparently we're not using a consensus decision-making progress, this is sort of faux democracy that we're undertaking, but okay, whatever you guys want to do.
I mean, those weasels seem like pretty heavy pushovers to me. So if badgers are like weasels, I think we're gonna have a pretty easy time of it.
Sometimes you just have to make an executive decision.
Well, if it makes anybody more comfortable, I have on my character sheet Wise's hidey hole wise, which I think will come in handy because badgers are in holes.
Well, I think that seals the deal. I think that makes it badger holes. Here we come.
You're making this really hard for me to play like a confident character, Jake.
Why? Why am I making it difficult?
This is amazing.
This is
I
great.
also want to share, Kenzie, can you roll nature for me? Whatever number you have next to your nature.
Oh, nature. I don't have nature. I have survivalist.
I believe everybody should have a nature number.
Is it under
but-
abilities, like under mouse
Yeah,
nature?
yeah.
Is that
Your raw
it's-
abilities. Yeah.
Look,
Oh, nature mouse. Okay, 5. Mouse nature. Sorry, I was looking like I was like D&D nature. I was like, oh, okay. So okay, all right. That's a 5. So 2 2s, 2 5s, and a 5. I got a full house, so 3 5s.
Oh wow. Awesome. Hearing this information and being the leader of the guard in this patrol, you definitely know that like Lieam is sharing this in an in a biased way, and that the badgers, of course, are very dangerous as well. But you know, as a good leader, you know, you don't always, you want to share some things and not other things, but it's what you know.
Well, either way is going to be dangerous. Yeah, badgers are dangerous. Fields can have birds, also snakes. You know, Liam, I'm aware you might have some interest as well there. So,
well, if we
might be
run
better just to be
afoul,
transparent.
right? Well, if we run afoul, I've got this broadsword.
Yeah, that's right. Liam's a full-fledged guard mouse, so if he'll just protect me if anything happens to me, I can't speak for the rest of you guys.
Well, Hornet, you suggested badger. And I always consort Hornet when trouble arises. So
And as you all decide to go the badger route, your smallish, colorful mice forms shifting through the taller grass as you move along, keeping an eye out for anything along the way. And you find near the field where the badgers have their tunnels, one of the entrances into the badger tunnel. Quite large, so they can fit a badger. And as all of you sneak in, your little buggy mice eyes wide, keeping out for any danger, we're going to enter into a skill challenge for this next phase.
dun.
Dun, 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 dun. And so in this skill challenge, essentially, we are navigating these burrows and or getting through the burrows to the other side. So you want to be taking a look at your character sheet to see everyone's going to make a roll, and you cannot help each other. Everyone's going to make their own individual rolls, and you cannot test the same skill twice. So if you're testing survivalist, you can only test it once. For example,
Once in this challenge or once the whole?
once in this challenge.
Okay.
Cool,
Okay.
cool.
Does anybody have Pathfinder higher than 3?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
I have survivalist 5.
I have
Okay.
survivalist 4.
Got survivalist and Pathfinder 2.
Oh, so this means only one of the whole group can do survivalist. Only one of the whole group can do Pathfinder. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'll do the
My-
Pathfinder then.
I've
My
got
highest is Scout 4.
my highest. I've got Hunter. Hunter is 3.
Oh,
I've got
I-
Weaver. If anybody like tears their cloak, I can sew it shut.
Uh,
I have a
Scout
cook 3.
5. I have Scout 5, but do you have another skill that's high, Sloane?
Nope.
Okay, I will let you do that, and then I'll do Pathfinder 3 then.
Hunter might be the best one here for me because all my others are 2. Like literally the only thing I'm good at is fighting.
But you can fight, Hornet. Okay.
Chris, what you and your best score?
I'm lower than all of your best. Like my best is a survivalist 4.
Why don't you do survivalist 4 and I'll do weather watcher if that works?
Why don't you
Make
roll
sure
Why don't you roll survivalist 5 and let's get max the scores? And I can roll one of my 3s.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I want to show everybody what dice I'm using. I already showed you guys, but I have a bunch of little tiny dice, and since we were playing a bunch of little tiny mice,
pick them up so we can see them?
no.
Okay.
Very easy to
I'll
see.
do survivalist then.
I also want to share too that when you choose a skill and you roll for it, you need to tell me kind of like what you're doing to choose that skill. Based on how relevant or not relevant it is, that will affect the DC. And then I will tell you what the DC is in case you want to use a luck point after your roll, or you want to, I don't know, add a trait.
All right, Liam, you started this way, so you lead us off.
All right, we'll go this way. And then Liam's gonna run in that direction, Pathfinder, in order to scout through the old tunnels. Yep. And I got 2 successes out of 3.
For tunnels and Pathfinder, the DC is going to be 3. So you might want to use hidey hole wise, I think is.
Yep.
Okay, so you can add additional dice because you have hidey hole wise.
I rolled a 1. That did not, being wise of the hidey holes just knows
so
that I know
cute.
I know how difficult this hidey. I will use a luck to re-roll one of them.
Okay.
And that's a 2. So I have 6. Okay, sure. 2 successes.
Do you have any traits that you wanted to apply, or are you good on this one?
I only have Defender left, so I'll save that one, I guess.
Okay.
Liam has redeeming qualities.
Hey, be nice to the kid.
You're not even a full mouse guard yet, so I don't know why you got such a big attitude.
Hey. If we're gonna get home on this, we're gonna have to work together. So
Don't make me pull the car over.
Listen, it's not my fault that Steph gave me a belief in my mouse that says I'm superior to all other mice in the territories, okay?
Love it.
Sloane thinks that they know everything that's going on and all the things there is to be had. What was the trait that you tested again? Sorry, Jake.
That was Pathfinder.
I'm going to actually reduce the DC to 2 because that one is that's definitely very applicable.
Okay.
Sorry. So that will count as a success because it is a very applicable trait. So, and I'm not going to tell you how many successes you're going to need, but obviously there's going to be 5 scores in here. So you have 1 success currently, and who's going to test next? So I guess as Liam, as you go around, you've seen paths before, and hidey hole wise, you've been in lots of holes, and this one feels like, I don't know, you've seen stuff like this before, and you're passing through.
I know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah, you've seen scratches. You can tell which ones are like fresh and old. Nope.
That one's from 3 days ago.
No badgers yet.
okay. Having seen this route, Sloane, why don't you scout ahead, make sure that this route's working.
I mean, if you insist, Kenzie, I don't want to show anybody up.
And she'll go ahead and her
Hornet, when Sloane gets back, you might have to knock some sense to him.
Sloane, her safety pin is in 4-wheel drive. It is unsheathed, pointy end out under one of her arms, and she has she's like going like this with her ears, like looking through, definitely trying to look cooler than Lieam. And that's gonna be 6, 6, and 5 for 3 out of 4.
Nice.
Success.
And you were testing, sorry, I forgot to ask.
Scout.
Scout. Three will bring you a success. So as Sloane navigates through the tunnels, it's dark in here, but you've been in lots of dark places, and actually you're just like the best at everything. So you're kind of just like, yeah, this seems easy. I don't see anything ahead. Looks safe. And you continue to navigate the party down.
All right. Seeing kind of in the middle, Kenzie is going to use survivalists. And how do wises work? You want to use them once, or do you add because it makes sense?
You apply a wise anytime it would make sense. And if you're not sure, you can ask.
Okay, so survivalist, and then I was thinking escort wise.
No, I'm gonna say because escort wise is like you're escorting somebody like like I don't know, a dignitary or something.
Okay, pathwise.
Yes. You pathwise is one of your wises.
Yes.
Yes. It's a little too general, but that's not my choosing. Roll.
All right.
What is the main skill that you're rolling?
Survivalist.
Survivalist. Okay.
So I'm like searching around, having seen, scouted ahead, and now having gathered everybody, I'm like, all right. Okay. I think we're in the right direction. Let's keep going through.
Okay. I'm gonna make the DC on that one 3.
Okay. It's a 6 and a 1, a 3 and a 4, a 6, and then pathwise a 3. So that's a 3.
Awesome. Okay. So Kenzie, being the guard captain, you've definitely led these other fuzzballs in many a journey thus far.
Fuzzball.
And you do so again, helping choose the right path with your survivalist skill, which I think is a little too general again, but some thoughts on like some of the skills, but most of them are really great.
All right, I did my best Gloria Gaynor, y'all. So tell you what, Sadie, why don't you what are you doing?
Hornet, what were you gonna use?
I'm a pretty decent hunter.
All right, why don't you use that then? I'll use my fighting skill, and I've probably tangled with badgers before, so I'll look for signs of badger problems, make sure that I'm avoiding them.
If that's the case, I should have used fighter. I have a 6.
See if there's any requests for divorce lying around.
That's
Like...
I don't have a whole lot to work with here, Hornet.
I'm so sorry. Go nuts. This will be great.
Yeah, so I will use fighter.
It won't be as applicable, so I'm gonna raise your DC up to 4 for this one.
Well, I'll roll and see how badly I fail. I got 2 4s. Oh.
Okay. Sadie, looking around, what is your weapon again?
A sling.
A sling? Looking around with your sling ready, you are just ready to help, I don't know, scare a badger away. But you haven't seen any yet. So you're less helpful than you thought.
I'm about as helpful as I expected with these stores.
It's all right. You're prepared. You did good.
All right. You did good.
Hornet.
Don't patronize me.
Saving the best for last. Bring us home.
All right. No problem. She is going to little paw on her needle, ready for danger at any minute, get low to the ground, and just start sniffing around as if she is hunting a nice juicy cricket. But is instead hunting for badgers and where to avoid them, in fact.
The DC on that one would be 3. So
wonderful. I rolled 2 6s and a 4.
Yay.
Amazing.
Yeah, Hornet, you've smelt badgers before.
I sure have.
They don't have the most pleasant of smells. And you're able to smell which tunnels smell more badgery than the others.
Not this one.
Similar to the way a farting cat would smell.
Very familiar with that.
So, with 4 successes and 1 failure, you just get through the tunnels. You guys have been making a lot, very successful thus far. Just get through the tunnels. There's points in when you're winding through the Badger tunnels that you can hear, and your little mouse body's up next to the side of the tunnel, holding your breath, and you can see, a dark shape pass by in a nearby junction, but they didn't notice you and they didn't find you. So, heart rate a little bit up. You make it out of the tunnels.
Badgers.
All right.
You tell them.
I think they can smell my confidence.
That's
Based
fine.
on my skill sets, all I have are witty comebacks.
I think we all can.
Boy.
Well, let's put some distance between us and this Badger Burrow. I don't know how often we want to tempt the fates.
Does anybody have Weather Watcher as a skill?
I do.
I've got 2.
I've got 3.
3.
Okay. Can one person roll Weather Watcher, and you can add a dice to help from somebody?
Sadie, why don't you check out, make sure it's safe, and I'll help.
Yeah, we'll see if that's any better.
I'll do Steph's guidance.
Oh God. A 5 and a 4. The other 2 are 1s.
5 and a 4. So you just tell me 2 successes. The
Okay.
numbers are
Sure. 2
I
successes.
don't need to know. 2 successes. Thank you.
Yep, I can do that.
With 2 successes, coming out of the burrows, you're not really sure whether it's the dark tunnels turning into like the brightness of the day outside, but something feels a little off. Feels a little tingly.
I think we should be wary.
My ears are twitching.
Ears up a little bit.
Well,
They always twitch because they're scouty ears, and whenever there's anything that's dangerous, they go.
Interesting, Liam. My ears twitch when I'm afraid.
my ear.
No one asked you, Sloane.
My ear just has a scar.
Hornet is just staring at all of you, just waiting, tapping her little paw.
Kenzie is just looking at Hornet and being like, I'm getting too old for this shit. And just kind of says, all right, well, we don't know what's happening weather-wise, but everybody be alert. We might have to have some quick thinking.
Well, whatever
Watch
the weather,
out for
let's go.
lightning, Liam. You might be the biggest thing in this field.
I think the biggest thing in this field is my broadsword.
Oh, really? Because I thought it was Sloane's ego.
Okay. Yeah.
If there was anything bigger than Sloane's ego, it should be shot.
You all need to save this for the post. The post missions, the psychological evaluation is going to be included in all future employee evaluations.
Okay, save that lecture. I'm going this way, and then
Oh my god.
Liam is gonna dart off to lead the way.
Hornet immediately darts after so that we don't lose track of Liam.
So as you see the little red body of Liam's little mouse self scooting along, Hornet's little white mouse body following just right behind, the two of you see the river that you know to exist on this side of the field, and you can see beyond that river the hill and at the top where Lockhaven is. So it's nice that there's less trees here. You can kind of get an idea directionally of where you're headed. This river is a lot bigger and more swollen. Lots more rain recently, and you can see that from where you are that doesn't at first glance look like there's any way across. But it does look like maybe there's two small ferries sitting by the bank of the river. And as the two of you kind of like catch up to each other and continue looking forward and get a closer look, you realize that actually, wait, nope, those aren't fairies. They're geese.
Oh, I thought they were gonna be like bottle caps with toothpicks or something. But... okay.
Little folded boats made of paper just drifting.
Wow.
Hey, geese. Geese.
Would we know?
I'm waiting for the geese voice.
Would we know if geese are friendly? I'm assuming no, knowing personally my experiences with geese.
Having been actually attacked by geese before.
Roll I'm gonna say maybe like a nature hornet. Roll your nature.
Can do.
And if someone wants to assist you, you can add a dice.
I got a 3.
Hey, that's great. Yeah, you know that the geese can sometimes be dangerous. But more than that, they're just a lot. They're just a lot in general. In every sense of the word. But not dangerous in the sense of badgers and weasels.
Okay. When Lieam starts calling out to them, Hornet's just going to go and put her paw over his mouth and just be like, wait. I think we need somebody who is good at talking for this.
Can me, meaning Sloane, use my cunning trait? Perhaps?
Perhaps?
I would say this counts as...
or the...
Is it a trait, like to add to? So you would add a dice to your roll?
I don't even... What would that be to talk to? Manipulator?
Well, what will
Depends on your
typically happen
approach.
is it sounds like you're interested in talking to the geese. So for the interactions purposes, usually they're social or conflict based. So you just want to initiate that whichever route you choose to go.
Yeah, I think Hornet will wave the rest of the group over and kind of motion towards the geese and still covering Liam's mouth, assuming he is probably still trying to talk. Just look over to Kenzie and just be like, I think that might be our best bet over. I think somebody that's not Lieam should talk. No offense, kid.
Well, does anybody know what geese like? Anything? They've always been kind of a handful.
I don't
Geese
know.
like
I
war
just know they're
stories.
fussy.
I would say the geese like themselves.
All right. Well,
Anybody have bread?
how do you think we can convince them to ferry us across?
I mean, I would be more than happy to go over and have a conversation with one of them about how much I like myself as well, and how we're similar in that way.
A good way to, bridge a gap.
Hopefully
Your
we can
ideas are
bridge us
terrible,
across.
Sloane.
Shared conceit.
Maybe if you get through rush week, they'll let you into the frat.
For the first time all day, Sloane's kind of holding her tail nervously.
Well, all right, kid, back up what you've been taking. If nothing else, it's a chance to learn a lesson.
Oh boy, I am not good at that. So she...
And Kenzie kind of backs up, like, keep an eye on this Hornet in case it's goes south quick.
Oh, thank you.
Sloane will take her safety pin out of 4-wheel drive and kind of sheath it behind her cloak, as to not alarm the honky boys, and kind of walk over with her chest puffed as much as possible, trying to imitate Liam's confidence, even though he doesn't have any.
Hornet will escort as the oh boy, what is the word? The chaperone. But we'll just stand quietly by and watch.
I would say a safe distance from the geese where they would still hear a mouse talking is like a couple feet, So she's probably just from like a couple feet away. Excuse me, good morning, or whatever time of day it is. I was just wondering if you were by chance offering rides across this beautiful stream. I mean, it's not as beautiful as you guys are, but I do think we have something in common. You guys look like you're very well kept, and I try to hold myself to that same standard. So if you want to, as well kept people yourselves, take a bunch of other well kept people across the stream, I would thank you profusely for it. Thank you so much in advance.
Hornet just looks over her shoulder to Kenzie and just kind of gives him a look.
And Sadie looks at Kenzie at the same time and says, "See, this is why I normally go out alone."
Lieam is going to call from the group. Yeah, what she said.
Kenzie's just gonna once again give his best Danny Glover and Lethal Weapon and just be like, I'm too old for this shit.
Sloane, as your tiny mouse voice starts to like rise above the grass towards these two geese, they're turned away from you, and you can kind of hear like their murmur as they are talking, and then you hear one of them, "What's that? Oh my golly, I can hear someone." And the other one, "Oh, where?" And as these two geese turn around, they see you. "Look at that, Gabby. There's a tiny mouse." "Yeah, Gladys, I love mice if you love them, but if you don't, then I don't love them either." "Well, I've met all of the mice in all of the places. I know every mouse." And so they've barely heard anything that you've said at this point. But they have like waddled over on their little geese feet to get a closer look at y'all. And
Can we get that waddle again?
Just like this a little bit.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Are these geese wearing corsets and shawls?
See, I'm just imagining the geese from, what is it, Aristocats?
Yeah.
Spectacle glasses.
They definitely give off that aura.
Okay.
And as Gabby stands in front of Gladys, "Well, look at how small they are. Hello," she says towards you, Sloane.
Hello.
They were talking to each other, yes, so I would know their names.
Gabby and Gladys, pleasure to make your acquaintances. These are all of my buds. We're just looking for a way across the water, please.
What, across the water for reasons?
We're on a quest.
A quest. Gladys, do you know about this? You know everything. I don't know if I know about this, but I know everything. So this is very, very odd. And she's looking around at the other mice. You just want to what? Like, ride on our backs?
I mean, I've never had the pleasure of riding on the back of someone so beautiful. So that would be a first for me. So yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
And they look a little mixed of like horrified and also
it must be incredible,
like complimented
to be a goose and just be able to glide across the water that way.
It
Well,
really
yes,
is
I
fairly
mean,
graceful to watch.
oh, well, thank you, but I mean, your feet are very, very dirty. So, at this point, we're going to enter into a social conflict with the geese. And your goal in this conflict is, I forgot to ask for the last one that we were in, but your goal for this conflict is to
Convince the geese to give us a boost.
Yeah, ferry us across.
Yep, I figured that was the case, but I wanted to clarify.
Mhm,
Awesome. So we're going to enter combat. So we need to roll for disposition. This is a negotiation. So we'll need someone in the party to roll Haggler, and then add it to the number that is your will.
I've got 5 total for
Okay.
Lieam.
I don't have Haggler.
Me either.
All right, Liam.
Yeah, I guess
Ooh.
5
Goose egg
total.
for me.
Let's go, kid.
All right, you geese, listen up.
Nicely, kid. Nicely.
Two. And I guess I'll use a luck point. To re-roll one of them? I got 3 successes. I think that's good enough. Maybe.
Okay. And then you add that to your will, which is a number on your character sheet.
3. So 6.
Okay. So you enter this combat at a starting disposition of 6. The geese are going to roll for their starting disposition. I gotta get all the...
That's a lot of
that
dice.
is going to be... Yeah, they're bigger creatures.
I'm shaking in my mouse boots over here.
That's a really good score. So for the weasels, I rolled poorly, but for the geese, I rolled well. So we've got... that's 14 for the geese.
We're dead. We're dead.
Yeah, so your starting disposition going into this situation is that the geese are at a 14 and y'all are at a 6.
Perhaps
So
if
remember,
we just offer them Lieam as a sacrifice.
We don't want
Mouse
that.
Guard, never give up. This is the second time you all have tried to sacrifice me to random animals, and I don't appreciate that. I'm a valued member of the Mouse Guard.
What kind of team are you guys? I know you might be joking around, but come on, this is just ridiculous.
I would like to say, just real quick, I am the best among mice, but I am obviously the worst among geese. So.
No.
Sloane's gonna have to get some extracurricular activities to make friends with more geese.
Do you ladies like to sew?
So do we need to pick 3 cards again?
Yep. So
Do they have to be a different card each time, right?
It doesn't necessarily. You can choose, essentially, you could choose attack, attack, attack. And I'll just say right now, too, while actually that is probably one of the more strategic paths to like choose the same 3 things in a row, it doesn't provide for as much of an interesting story. So, but yeah, you can use multiples. So if you want to do 2 of one or 3 of one, you can. And then also, since this is a negotiation, one thing to be aware of is that Haggler and Manipulator are going to be the ones that are tested most. So in these cards that you're choosing. So I will go ahead and take my headphones off unless anybody has any other questions. Go ahead and choose.
Okay, I don't have Haggler or Manipulator.
Nor do I.
Either.
I have both.
Well, wait, I have Manipulator. I would say I love Mirage's idea of inviting them to be a part of a knitting circle. So could we spin that to be feint again first or maneuver?
I think if we feint, maneuver, feint, we might actually have... I don't think attack is going to help us here. They're geese. They're going to attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say maneuver. Yeah, maybe maneuver, feint, maneuver.
That's good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maneuver, feint, defend.
Do you think maybe we should start off with defend because they were specifically like, oh, you guys are so dirty? Because that sounds like a verbal attack to me.
Maybe maneuver first, and we go and wash our paws in the in the riverbank.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
So maneuver to be clean.
Yeah.
And then
Feint to be like, oh,
knitting.
let's change the topic so that we can get close to you.
knitting
Here's
club.
Lieam.
And then
And if it has to go to
maneuver.
defend, we get ourselves muddy again.
Right.
Right. Oh yeah, maneuver, get clean, feint, give Lieam, defend them when they try to take Lieam. Okay, cool. Nice.
I was thinking feint, knitting club, defend, get muddy if things go AWOL, but okay, so
6 of one, half dozen of the other. Really, it's all the
maneuver,
same thing.
feint, defend. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
It's harder if they don't look up.
Like the one time I looked down.
Yep.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I was
Just
just,
pulls out a book and
reading.
is taking a nap.
Yeah, just like, awesome. Are we ready for the first card of this social combat?
I think so.
Mhm.
All right.
Maneuver.
Maneuver, awesome. The geese chose, so how are you maneuvering? I guess I want to ask.
They just told us that we were dirty, so we're gonna be like, well, the river's right there. Why don't we just clean ourselves up real quick so that we can match how pretty you are?
Awesome. And they chose faint, so they're gonna be like, I don't really know if that will be sufficient. And so we'll roll. And so these are individual checks. And so that means that you will roll for maneuver in a negotiation that is manipulator, I believe. And for feint, it's also manipulator for the geese.
Who's
I
got
think Jake's the only
manipulator
one
at
that's
all?
got-
Not I.
There you
All
go.
right. I
There you
think
go.
Sloane gets to keep going. I'm the only one who has manipulator. So
I've got manipulator 2,
oh, okay.
but
Sloane, I think you're up. Keep them talking,
I've-
kid.
A 5, a 3, and a 1. That's only one success. Do I add my will to that?
You guys, your what?
My
No,
will.
no, this.
That's only for checks outside of this
Oh,
stuff.
that was a great question. Liam, did you did you get 2 people to roll help for you when you rolled disposition? Because your disposition might be higher, actually.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, Kenzie and Sadie, do you want to roll a d6? And if you get a 4 or higher, let me know.
4
Success.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
so that's better. Y'all have a starting disposition of 8, where instead of 6. So going back to you, Sloane.
Oh, yeah, there was only one success for a manipulator.
Okay. And do any
Can
of your wises apply to that?
I have Code of the Guard wise.
Okay. And what number is associated with that?
I actually don't know.
Usually there's a number after it.
It just says Code of the Guard wise in squiggly
Oh,
font.
oh, I see. It's just an extra dice. Sorry, go ahead. Yes, I'll apply that. That's my bad.
No, it's okay. Can I use a luck point on that? I rolled another 1.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a 3.
So how many successes is that?
1. A single 1.
All right. So for maneuver, I believe that is a 1. So you would actually maneuver first. I keep forgetting. This is all of our first times, but maneuver wasn't always the best one to do first because I believe it adds to your disposition. So it would bring the 8 up to a 9. However, it can't go higher than an 8. That's a little bit my bad on explaining that. But you maneuver all over the place. Regardless. I am so sorry about that.
My paws are much cleaner now.
With some maneuvering, you can get clean, and then you're the scrubbiest, cleanest mice you've ever seen. The geese rolled a 2 on feint, so that is going to allow them to assign rolls here. Oh wait, no, maneuver. Maneuver is where you get a success. So you got 1 success. Sorry. Correct?
Yes.
So you can give the geese minus dice on their next action, which I will mark with a dice. For feint, hold on a second. The margin of the success is subtracted from the loser's disposition. So in this case, 2 is subtracted from the disposition of the party. So the geese have given you the stink eye. And morale-wise, you've dropped from an 8 to a 6. Hopefully all of this is making sense, and if I need to recap anything at any time, let me know.
You're good.
You've given them a minus dice for their next roll, and currently y'all are at a 6, and they're at a 14.
I think
We're
we're
looking
doing
good, guys. But Mouse Guard never give up.
The second card for the geese is defend.
Our second card, I believe, was going to be faint, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What we were going to do was Hornet was going to whip open her cloak and suddenly become a completely different person. Be like, do you ladies like to sew? I love just absolute embroidery. It's so much fun. I think this would look lovely on you. And just like start showing off some of her like projects, her cloak, which has like lovely stitchery on it, and just sort of try and talk hobbies.
Awesome. So they chose defend, which for feint doesn't allow them any bonus. So I actually don't roll at all. But they don't get any bonus for that matter either. So for feint, that is an independent roll. So you're going to roll your trait and then add any wises that are relevant, or any traits that are relevant. And this will be deducted from their 14. So you probably want to shoot high if you can.
Like,
Up to the top of
can you
the-
explain that one more time? Like, what do you mean by like
The
what's
number
code
of
roll?
successes that Hornet rolls will be deducted from the disposition of the geese, which is 14.
Okay.
And what do they roll against?
What's
what's the- Yeah.
You choose a skill.
Okay.
And then
Can
if
I choose any skill?
an applicable skill, yes.
Okay.
In this case, yeah.
narrate it and it'll work.
I'll use Weaver because I have 3. That's my next highest.
Sure. Let's do it.
Cool.
It'll be
crafty.
boring to choose manipulator every single time.
Yeah, and mine's not high, so all right, let's fucking go. Hold on, what were the successes?
46.
Okay, I got 3 successes again. Fuck yeah. Oh, these dice are great. I need to use these tiny dice more often. Yes.
Tiny dice. Did you want to use any luck or anything to make that a higher number, or
You know what? Am I able to use luck just to add another die to roll?
You
Yes,
rolled 3.
wise or a trait.
Yeah, I only rolled 3
okay.
and all 3 were success.
Okay, then no, yeah, you want to re-roll a bad roll with a
Yeah.
luck. But if one of your wises like applies, okay, that's fine.
My
And no-
wises have nothing to do with anything.
And no aiding, right?
Nope, not in this situation.
I love when you
and-
show that side of yourself, Hornet. It
She
always
just looks
it's
over and
always
just gives you the
offset.
biggest stink eye.
It's always offsetting.
So you
Can't be
brought
work all
the
the
geese
time.
down. They're definitely like, oh, well, that's very beautiful. Oh, can you see that? The design. Wow, the colors. They're definitely interested, Hornet.
Cool.
Last card for the geese I have is attack.
Perfect. I believe our last one was defend.
Awesome. Nice. So in the case of an attack versus defend, they are a versus roll, which means that your successes will be pitted against the geese's successes to determine a margin of success. So I will roll for the geese first, just so that you can have the number going into your defend. So I've gotten I've got a 3 here.
Okay. What's the skill? Just fighter or?
For a defend, technically for negotiation, it's haggler, but I could also accept persuader.
Okay.
I think orator could
don't have
also
either.
work.
I think if it's persuader, that's probably.
I have 2. I have 2 in both.
I have 5 in persuader.
Okay, we'll do that.
Go, Kenzie.
All right. A 4 and a 3, a 5 and a 4, and a 4 for 4.
4 for 4. Awesome. So what that will do is that it will heal y'all by 1, and you will not accrue any I don't know, psychic damage from this goose attack, which would entail something about, I don't know, something petty.
Sounds about right.
Your cloaks don't even seem like they're cut straight.
11 and 7 now.
Yeah, so we end the combat in this situation at 11-7 geese. So it was a tough sell. You definitely convinced the geese to take you across the river, but it took you a good long time. Y'all were at that riverbank for a while. So y'all board the geese and start heading across the river.
Oh, this is the life. Just sitting here, pulls out like a staff, attaches a little thread, throws it in, trying to catch a water bug for dinner later.
Beautiful.
Because you can't really fish as a mouse.
Hornet is probably sitting there muttering to herself angrily and like sewing a ribbon or something for the geese as thanks or as payment, and not super like happy about it, but doing it anyways.
This is
Liam-
really a
Don't
smooth
deserve.
ride.
Liam has his broadsword out, just pointing across the stream, like he's a little George Washington
Watch
mouse.
where you're pointing that.
Are they
As we
just,
make our way across the stream.
are they having a conversation with each other again, kind of like acting like we don't exist?
Yeah, they're gonna like make you jump through all the hoops, wash your feet, try not to touch them as much, don't ruffle up their feathers. They've got a lot of demands. But as soon as you're in the river, it's pretty much just like gossip, gossip. And then I heard that so and so was going to the other side of the lake. What?
Cool.
Who?
Sloane is actively listening to this conversation, trying to become a god among geese. She wants to
Okay.
know all the lingo.
You definitely hear a lot of like where different geese are traveling, where, you know, some really big predators have been lately, and then just, you know, more than you probably want to know about their personal preferences of style, which I don't know, may or may not align with yours. So,
Interesting.
and you're crossing the river and you reach the other side of the bank. Your 3 little mice on Gladys's back, 2 mice on Gabby's back, and just as you...
That's Hornet now.
I don't want to be on the goose. Really. You guys ride on that goose. And as they reach the other side of the riverbank, you start to see very quickly those dark clouds rolling in. And it took y'all so long to talk to these geese and convince them to cross the river that the storm that you kind of felt was sort of coming earlier has officially came. So disembarking from the geese, they're, you know, like very particular, don't touch their feathers. Y'all are safely on the other side.
Thanks for your help.
Hornet hands off the ribbons that she made or embroidered for each of them, begrudgingly, but it's just like, there you ladies go. I hope you enjoy it. It was so lovely having a ride from you. Thank you so much. And she's just gonna like, as she walks off.
Kenzie is just gonna kind of peer off, looking for higher ground, just to make sure they don't get caught in a trough if this rainstorm causes a gully washing.
Hornet, as they receive your gifts, they're like, "Wow, this is quite fitting. Thank you. Ooh, I bet so and so." And they just like kind of have forgotten that you existed already. They're already talking about how the other
Perfectly
geese
fine
are
with
going to
her.
be impressed with their ribbons. And they swim off into the river.
Beautiful.
So Kenzie, you were saying what?
Is just looking with the storm clouds coming in and with us being relatively small, was just looking to make sure that we have a path that doesn't have us like at the lowest point. So there's not like what we call a gully washer. Where water just comes and like whoosh. A mouse. We don't want a mouse tsunami.
A mouse water slide, kind of. So yeah, you can see now that you're at the other side of the river, up the hill is Lockhaven. There's definitely areas where you could encounter a lot of downward rushing water, but you've been this way before, so you know, you're gonna try to navigate up there. And actually, as that, you know, as you're taking that look, is when the rain hits and it just starts coming down. Within seconds, you all are wet. Your fur is just right next to your bodies. You can hear the thunder and the lightning. This area that you're in is there's not very wooded, not where like you were fighting with the weasels. So very few trees, and arguably you could be one of the tallest people in the field potentially, but as you get further up the hill, that's where the trees start to pick up, and that's also where the walls of Lockhaven are, your sanctuary and destination. So the lightning and thunder are really rolling in, cracking sounds are heard, and yeah, you're just totally soaked to the bones.
Kenzie, do you think we should wait this out or keep going?
I think we're already wet. I don't know if we're going to get any wetter. Is everybody feeling
That's
all
pretty
right?
wise. Yeah, you're right.
Is anybody feeling all right? Nobody's feeling sick or like hypothermia or nothing.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty
I'm not
sick
gonna
after dealing
quit.
with those geese, but
I'll never quit.
I mean, the longer I stay wet, the longer it'll be till the static in the air makes me kind of staticky. So I think that staying wet for a little while longer is going to be the best for my self-esteem.
Well, just avoid that lightning. It'll get you static pretty quick.
Okay.
So realizing the immediacy of this storm, you are very small mice. This is a lot of water. And very quickly, this is going to turn into an extremely dangerous situation. So we are going to take a break at this time. Before we go into the break, I want to say that when we get back, we will start it up with a skill challenge, and see how our tiny mouse party fares with some thunder and lightning.
I'm gonna fight it.
I'm going to build a kite
With
and
your
a
sword.
tiny needle, and I'm going to be the Benjamin Franklin of the mouse
My
world.
3 in boat crafting is going to come in real handy here.
Lieam, is your sword still up? You're gonna be the Thor of mice.
Yeah.
And we're back. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Also, thank you so much, Thurl, for the sub, and Byzantine Wolf also for the sub. We really appreciate that. And also, thank you, everybody, for your patience, because, as I said before, I have never GM'd a game of Mouse Guard before, so whilst I have attempted to interpret the rules, I'm also sometimes prone to making mistakes, believe it or not.
You're doing great.
At least I'll cover it up with cool goose voices.
Yeah.
All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Also, don't forget, if you're joining us now, that there's going to be a one-shot next week that Matt is leading, where we are going to Wild Mount. Same start time. So jumping back into our Mouse Guard game, our 5 intrepid mice have been kidnapped by weasels, escaped off the back of a tortoise, and then navigated through badger burrows to find themselves at a river where they hitched a ride on the backs of 2 geese, and have now got caught in a pretty scary thunderstorm. So we're going into a skill challenge with this one. In basically the challenge is, how are you going to help the rest of the group push through, or what are you going to do about this storm?
Can I make the case that in a fight or flight instinct deal, Hornet picks fight, and therefore I can use my fighter of 6 to push forward through the rain?
No, but I feel like it's probably going to apply in
Eventually.
a different situation. But
Lieam
thanks
is
for asking.
When those geese come back.
Lieam is going to start harvestering using the skill harvester some leaves to create a shelter from the aggressive rain droplets.
Okay.
I know what to do.
I know what to do. So to recap again, for a skill challenge, everyone needs to make a roll, and you are testing a skill. If you have a wise that helps you in your skill, you may add that to it. You may also use luck. You may also use a trait if you have not already used it. That being said, we need to test different skills from each other. So we're going to have 5 different skills being tested. So if you'd like to go first, Liam, you may. And making a shelter is going to be tough in this field. There's not a lot around you. I'm going to set the DC at 3 for a success.
Great. Liam failed horribly with the 1 success.
Oh no. You want to roll additional dice for luck or traits?
It would not help because
Okay.
he's only got 1 trait, defender, and then he already used his wise. So, and he's used all of his luck points. So Liam's, yeah.
So traits are used once per session, but wises can apply in any situation they're applicable.
Wise?
Nope. No, not really. No.
Can he find a hidey hole?
I think that would be worse.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that might be worse.
Opposite.
Protect from lightning. You might drown though. So I mean, like
Holes filled with water.
For the purposes of science and fun, I will let you add that dice.
Oh, okay. I got a success, 2 successes, which is still not enough, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, you still looked really hard. You've gathered some resources.
I'm doing my best. I'm not quitting.
Proud of you. Keep at it.
Thank you.
On the opposite front, I think Sloane try and build a raft so they can you know, for
like
them
kind
to
of skim over the water.
Yeah.
Sure.
Using maybe like labor or survivalist. They're 2s. They're both 2s for her. So, and I would like to say,
Survivalist is my only good score.
She has a steady paw trait, so like traditional skilled labor. So is that okay?
Yeah, I'd apply that. And with the supplies that Liam has already accrued, I would say, what is your skill number?
So 2 plus my so it would be 3 total with my trade.
Okay, I'll set your DC at 2.
Okay.
With the assistance of
as 2 5s and a 1. So
that's 2 nice. Successes. Yay! So that's a success. And you're patching together a raft that you can kind of use to skim along the water.
I will say that Sloane, in building this raft, probably puts like a leaf as kind of like a roof and hands it to Liam, so Liam can like put the leaf roof on the raft.
Here you go, Liam. This way you feel included.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing a good job. I don't want to admit it, but you're doing a good job.
That's because I never quit.
Wonderful, bud. Wonderful. Does anybody else have any suggestions? I mean, I'm trying to keep us from drowning here, but...
Sadie's going to go ahead and use her survivalist skill and attempt to point the boat in the best direction where we can use the water but not worry about getting capsized.
Okay. I might have to raise the DC just because, well, I mean, this is an emergency situation, and that's when survivalist I feel like would be more applicable than less applicable. So, I'll give it a 3 DC.
Okay.
It's hard because it's so general.
I'm also gonna go ahead and use my clever trait.
So yeah, cleverly be a survivalist.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Clever applies to a lot of stuff.
And I'm gonna use luck. I got 3 successes.
Excellent. So I mark you down for a success as you look and you can see all of the future mouse water slides and maybe how to avoid them.
I think Hornet is going to skitter up one of the, like, the thing on their raft that's holding up the little leaf, just climb up to the top, get as much as they can, and use Weather Watcher with their trait short to try and get a good feel also of, like, where to avoid, how long this is going to go on, like, where the rain is heaviest, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like that would be very applicable in this situation. So set the DC for 2 on that one.
Perfect. I'm going to use a luck. Cool. That's a 1. 1 success.
I think the weasels have a weather machine.
Am I able to use 2 lucks at once?
You are not.
Cool.
If we get washed away by the thunderstorm, just don't quit.
Just the mouse guard never quits.
So Kenzie, seeing this, would like to know if Kenzie can use Persuader to give everybody a pep talk, given they're wet and things have gone on.
In this situation, I would have to set the DC at a 4.
Okay.
Not as applicable.
Can there be an aid here?
Yeah.
Can we aid?
Okay, so he's gonna go with that for 4.
Liam's trying to help with the pep talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giving a pep talk the whole time.
He's gonna use one of his traits for leader.
Liam's
quiet,
behind him.
Yeah.
Like rubbing his shoulders.
Hey, wait, can I use a luck?
You can use 1 luck per test.
With luck and leader both used, I still only got 3.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing so good.
Doing so good. Who's left? That
That's
was
it.
it. Yep. So with 3 failures of the team, 2 successes.
The first half was pretty fun, and then came the drowning.
You as mice are trying very hard, and in a certain sense you are succeeding because this is a really hard test. It's a really big thunderstorm and you are mice, so while you're not able to use your raft effectively or find a place to hide, you manage to, Kenzie, share some inspiring words. Some are lost in the wind a little bit, but regardless, as a team, you muddle through the rain. You're pretty soaked. You're pretty tired when you get out. However, you did have 2 successes, so your consequences are not as bad as maybe they would be. And so therefore, everybody is just very tired. So everybody is going to gain the tired condition, which is a -1 to any disposition roll for a conflict. So when you're starting out a conflict and we roll that disposition roll, it's going to provide a -1, and that's just will apply for the whole team. So you're, as mice, you're very tired and you're very wet.
We're not quitting.
Liam's only personality trait is that he refuses to quit.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
That's the spirit, buddy.
Oh gosh. I love him so much. Protect Liam at all costs.
Sorry, DM.
No, you're okay. You're okay. I figured you probably wanted to talk as mice before or whatever, but let me know when you're yes, let's move on. So
I think Hornet this entire time, after not being able to get a good grip on where things are, has just been holding on to their needle at the ready, staring at the rain. Probably looks like they are ready to fight it, but has not yet. But she's just kind of pissy and walking probably just behind Kenzie, muttering to herself this entire time.
Well,
turns out the rain is just following capitalism.
this is the life of the patrol.
It was a metaphor the whole time.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be on patrol.
It's good to have y'all on patrol. It's very good. Sometimes you get wet, but it could be worse. So we're still.
It's already raining.
We've managed a few things already, so we'll see this through.
Yeah, we could be at the defense of Ferndale in the Weasel War 2 years ago.
Yes, well, you'll have many more opportunities as long as we're able to make it back, and we might even be able to come out on top if we can get this intel back to home.
Well, personally, I don't really want to go back to Ferndale. That was a really traumatic experience for me, but I'm not going to quit.
Just never,
That's
not
the
gonna never
spirit,
quit.
buddy.
The spirit. So with
We can talk about
Lockhaven,
that experience later.
with Lockhaven in sight, atop the hill, you basically at the base of this hill, the rain is still coming down. There's still a couple infrequent strikes of lightning, and the thunder every once in a while, like, just kind of makes you jump as you hear it. And Hornet, with Needle out and just your frustration climbing, you look up from your grumpy state to see a dark figure ahead of you near the midway up the hill, and as another bolt of lightning comes down and cracks nearby, illuminating a very wet, sharp-eyed Jasper, who has tailed you since leaving Darkwater, standing there with his sword out, ready. And he says, "I was never gonna let you guys get away. I kill Horace, now I'll kill you."
It seems like this would have made more sense for you to retain allies rather than eliminating them, but whatever. I mean, it's your plan.
Hornet draws her needle and immediately just starts rushing in.
I guess weasels really do sacrifice their comrades.
He probably ate him too.
So with that, we enter into a fight. This is not a social conflict.
Finally, something I'm good at.
Yeah, for those of you that have the fighting skills, this is the time to use them. I'm
not very good at that either. I don't understand my skills.
In a fight, I feel like maybe this is a Hornet, a role for you to do. For the disposition on a fight, it's fighter or hunter that's rolled.
Cool. I'll choose fighter, which has 6.
Awesome. And then if two of you would like to assist, you may roll 1d6, and then if it's a success.
Cool. And this is going to be -1 because we are tired. And then remind me, is this plus will?
It is plus, great question, nature. Nope, that's wrong. Hold on a second.
I saw it, Jake.
Yes, it's health or nature. You can choose.
Okay. So that was 1 success, so I had a die. What was the other one?
I got a success as well.
Beautiful.
So did Lieam.
All right. Oops.
So your total is 3 plus your health or nature, correct?
Actually, give me just a sec, because I still have to actually count. My health is 4. So
What's your fighter, by the way, Kenzie?
6.
No, Kenzie.
Kenzie?
Oh, Kenzie, I'm sorry.
My fighter is 3.
Okay.
My hunter is 3 as well.
Yeah, I've got 5 health and 3 fighter. Total of 8.
Okay, I got 5 successes, so that is a total of 9.
Whew, nice. All right. But did you minus the 1 from your tired condition?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
I just had a lot of dice.
Yeah, no, that's great. And then
A lone weasel
Kenzie?
can't be that.
So did that
powerful.
include the +1s from Sadie and Lieam?
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Yes.
So this one is going to be Jasper is only rolling 5 dice, so feels like probably may not. Oh, 3 successes. That's pretty good. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Jasper is starting this conflict at a disposition of 8. The party is starting at a disposition of 9. So you're pretty close in number. And then whoever has the lowest disposition, remember, at the end of the conflict is the loser and suffers consequences.
Dire.
And just also to recap,
That is-
defending usually. Go ahead.
No, go on. It was gonna be a
I
terrible
was just
joke.
gonna say, fainting usually helps hopefully shift the combat in your favor. Maneuvering helps shift in your favor, and then fainting can help your next turn. Attacking immediately takes off from your opponent's disposition, and defending can sometimes boost your disposition if it has been lowered. So, entering into our very last. Well, I don't know actually. This combat, I will take my headphones off and you can choose your 3 cards that will represent your attacks. In the case of a fight, the most notable skills here are probably going to be fighter, hunter, potentially nature, but that's kind of a last resort.
What about scout for the first round?
That works better in a chase situation.
Okay.
But I could see let's see, I could see potentially lore working, but it's really mostly going to be fighter and hunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have like 3 fighter hunters, right?
So Hornet.
Mhm. Hornet, attack first.
Who
Let's
else has a fighter hunter?
I've got
I
fighter 3, hunter 3.
I'm the
I have
same.
none.
I've got fighter 3 health, or yeah, fighter 3, no hunter.
Why
Health is
don't
taken into account too, right? Or no?
no? It's
Oh,
just the skill. So why don't we?
Not
Why?
with
So
you. I
why
wanna butt
don't
in for a
the
second to let you
hunter?
know that I forgot to ask what your goal was. So probably figure out that, like, what do you hope to accomplish out of this conflict?
They can't hear us, but the goal was to murder the weasel.
I say
Yes.
disable the weasel and get back. The most important thing is to get back with the intel we have. If we have to kill, we do. If we disable and that allows us to get away, we do.
So I have
That's the
fighter.
smart thing.
I have fighter 3 and defender 1, so I can use that. I think to cover our escape potentially.
And what were you, Mirage?
6.
Fighter 6.
Fighter 6.
Why don't Sadie, Lieam, and Hornet? And what are the 3 actions we're gonna do?
I say attack first. I will gladly attack first since Hornet is charging in.
Yeah,
Okay.
defend on the way out.
Attack, defend.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so who's attacking second, or is it?
I'll go second with hunter.
Okay, and then
Unless
okay.
what was did you have a good hunter, Jake?
No, I just have fighter 3, and then
Okay.
with the defender trait, I can make that 4.
Do
Okay.
we? Okay.
Well, we can only use fighter once, right? We can only use the skill once.
I
That's
believe-
true.
So
believe
you need
so.
to use something other than fighter.
Oh, scout. I could ask if we can do scout to like.
I've got lore mouse if we need it, but it's only a 2.
They said nature is like a last resort, right? If we don't have anything else, which I have a 6 in that, so
Why don't we do that then? That makes
Yeah.
the most sense.
okay.
All right.
Then
So,
we're good then.
so Mirage attack, fighter. I'll attack hunter. Sarah, nature,
Defend, right?
defend.
Defend. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
They keep looking down.
They're looking down. Cool.
Okay.
We'll just yeah. All right.
To make up a dance or something. The goose.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool goose voices is going to be the title of your memoir.
Yeah, right. All I hear are goose voices. All right, so I have chosen.
It's not
3
exactly a
cards.
Mary Oliver poem, but it's close.
3 cards for Jasper, and you've chosen 3 cards for the party. What is your goal, or like, what are you looking to achieve in this conflict?
Our goal is mainly to get past this guy and to get the intel back, disable this guy and kill if necessary, but mostly to get where we need to go.
Right. Well, you will succeed no matter what. You either succeed or you succeed with consequence. So I guess narratively, like, is killing him the most important, or is running past him?
I don't think killing him is the most important part. I think getting past him is the most important part.
Inventions for Horus.
Awesome. Okay. Meanwhile, the tortoise is just left 100% unattended in the woods out there.
Poor Torty.
I don't know why y'all are worried about me. I'm doing fine.
I literally wrote for the tortoise's motivation that, like, it doesn't really care about like sides, just wants to like roam the world, learning stories and telling stories.
Beautiful.
He's actually not doesn't have a problem with being part of the weasel camp, even though they're kind of ruthless.
Neutrality.
Yeah.
They're weasels.
Those weasels. All right, so
Swiss
our
tortoise.
first card.
Shocking nobody. First card is going to be attack with Hornet's fighter.
Awesome.
So she also fearlessly went in, so I'm going to add.
Yes,
a
great.
die. So that's
Fearless.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh god, these tiny dice. Hold on.
Wait, there's a
get out your
disadvantage to the tiny dice?
They
Get your
stick to my
magnifying glass.
fingers.
Oh.
All right. 2, 3. Right, I'm not adding anything. It's just this. Okay. Hold on, I already lost count. 5. I do know how to do basic math.
5 successes?
Yeah, I have a 6 plus
Wow.
1. I rolled
Nice.
good. These tiny
Nice.
dice, I gotta roll with them more often.
That's great.
They're weighted.
No, Hornet, you take out needle and almost seem to like just cut off some fur and sort of make an insignia, and a little bit like on the chest of Jasper.
Zorro.
Yeah,
Zorro
H
it.
for Hornet.
That's what I love about Hornet.
And that was a what was the total again? 6?
It was a 5.
5. Okay. So that brings Jasper's disposition down to a 3 from an 8. So that is a pretty significant hit. Jasper, however, also rolled or flipped for attack. And so in an attack, we both independently roll. So he is also going to cause harm to the disposition of the group, while you also did. Let's see here. So that is a 4, 5. Oh, I rolled so bad.
That's a shame.
I rolled so many dice too, and I rolled so bad. I feel like it goes either way. So it was 2 successes. So it does bring the disposition of the party down to 7. And so I think it probably Jasper, taken aback slightly by Hornet's attack, is only able to get in a small attack.
All right. Sadie is also going to attack using the hunter skill and her tough trait.
Nice.
And I will use a luck for 3 successes.
Awesome. Jasper unfortunately chose the very aggressive path in his attacks. So a defend would have been more helpful here. However, he chose feint, so doesn't get any advantage. Just hoping to, but that so that really sucks for him. A -3 attack from Sadie. What weapon were you using again?
My sling.
Your sling. Yeah. So as Hornet is up front in melee with the needle sword just flailing it all over, Sadie, you go back there and big old rock just knocks Jasper right on the side, weasel head, bringing his disposition down to 0. Which
That's for
means we don't
Horus.
even have to flip the third card. So, with much success, while still very tired, even more so now, y'all...
Investigation for the body. I'm waiting the wrong. No. Are there any more Weasel Patrol reports on there?
It feels like Jasper was probably the lone weasel, pretty bitter, came for you, probably wasn't happy about what happened in the beginning. Yeah, you'll...
I know where to go.
Walk Jasper. Go ahead and lead the way,
Liam. This is another
it's always good to have whippersnappers up front in case they're landmines.
Mousetraps.
Scout. Mousetraps better. Much better.
Do we have am I rolling scout for this DM or?
You can roll scout, but you're pretty close, so it won't be too hard.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Oh yeah, more than enough. This is definitely we've entered into the territory that Liam, you grew up in. You've been in this area before, and leaving the weasel body behind you. I guess not even bothering, just like navigating away your tiny little mice feet, all as a party go rushing up the hill, and you reach the walls of Lockhaven. As they see you coming, the doors creak open as other mice open the door, and oh, there they are, we thought we lost them, they're back. And you're able to rush inside, and they
because we never quit.
Thank you for being a rock star, Liam. We couldn't have made it here without your constant encouragement.
Well,
that's just part of being a good mouse guard.
Damn right. Smacks both of them on the backs.
Well, Sadie, let's take those papers and make sure we get these to the folks who need them.
Gwendolyn, we have the intel. They're ordering pizza for dinner.
And as you get in, Gwendolyn hurries down the stairs. She's the leader of the guard mice, very regal, very well put together, and is like, Sadie, Kenzie, I knew I could trust you with this. Thank you, and also pass my regards on to your whole party as well. And then she quickly, you can comment.
We will remember that I do better on my own in the future.
You might die out there on your own, though, Sadie. And as she whisks
it might
away
be all right. I might be okay with that.
With her other advisors. And other mice that are in Lockhaven now are bringing you dry clothes and helping you over to the fire area right in the central area. And it's been a while since...
votive candle.
Yeah. You don't know exactly how many days it's been because you got attacked by the weasels and that was a weird, crazy situation. But you're realizing that you made it back in time for the fall festival that's just starting in Lockhaven. And before you know it, you're out of your wet clothes and feeling warm and toasty by the fire.
It's almost time for pheasant plucking season. I love this time of year.
Good thing you didn't say that around the geese.
I don't think they like pheasants. We're okay.
Yeah, I never got a chance to talk to him about my broadsword. You think geese like broadswords? Probably not.
Kenzie just finds a place by the fire and stretches out and tries to ignore everything around him. It just seems like he's rubbing his arms.
Thimble and mouse whiskey.
Our intrepid heroes succeed and bring the weasel intel back and also fight a weasel. What an adventure for such tiny heroes. So that brings us to the end of our game. However, I would love to ask if folks wanted to share their personal character goals or their if you played it in the game. What your goal or your belief was?
I don't think I'll ever be able to guess what Liam's belief was. My belief was the best solution is found at the point of my sword. My goal is I will protect those I care about. So,
Succeeded very much in that.
yay.
Sadie's belief is that a guard mouse needs to be able to think with her head and act with her heart. And her goal, thus far unachieved, is that I will discover why Conrad's communications from Calgero have stopped.
Okay, the goal was written. That was the pre-made goal for the character sheet. The goal you wanted to write for this mission in particular. So.
Oh.
It's okay.
My goal was to get the intel back.
You did
Huzzah!
it. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Sloane, her belief is I am superior mouse. That's just what I wrote in all caps on my character sheet. And my goal was make at least one friend. So I stuck that on Lieam in her own way.
After trash talking him the entire time?
She told him he did a good job 3/4 of the way through the session.
Yeah, it's kind of like the elementary strategy where you just make fun of the way that you like. Yeah.
Amazing.
Neg, compliment.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of a
toxic at
compliment sandwich. It's like,
Yeah.
nag, compliment, nag.
Yep. Liam's belief was a guard mouse never gives up, no matter the danger.
Wow.
And
No.
I find that hard to believe.
his goal. I had a script right here for me for the entire session. And then his goal was to show Kenzie and Hornet that he's a valuable member of the patrol.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what to say after that. Kenzie's belief is it's not what you fight. It's not what you fight, but what you fight for. And his goal, essentially the main goal for I made for my was to bring the team through and accomplish the mission over everything, but to bring the team through safely.
Oh.
So Kenzie would have been that mouse that takes the intel from our bleeding out corpses as the
just left them there.
At the end of the day, it is the mission. It is the job. That's what you're there for. But his goal was
Get to the chopper.
get everybody through safely. If we're gonna go, we've all seen Rebel 1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
actually one of my that's gotta be my
one
favorite.
of the 2 best Star Wars movies in my opinion.
The Saving Private Ryan of the Star Wars universe.
Yep.
Well, despite just the condition of tired, there was the plethora of conditions I could have given you, but y'all did really good as a team, so good job.
Thank you.
I'll foil you another day, perhaps.
Oh my lord!
So much fun.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
I do like the landmine mousetraps, though.
Yeah.
I think
that,
Mouse Guard in Mouse Trap should be a mashup game that we have to play at some point.
No. Terrible situation. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate you and your support. Remember again, next week, one shot in Wildmount with Matt.
Yes.
Yay!
As we head to Wildmount.
Yeah.
The
That'll be
wild
fun.
So much fun.
swamplands are coming.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm super excited.
We'll see you all next week.
Thanks, chat.
Monday
Thanks,
for
y'all.
Keeps and
Hey, guys.
Conversations. Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hell
Next
yeah, hell yeah.
Wednesday for a one shot. See you soon.
Bye.